Hi, welcome to the Douglas County Real Estate Market Update. And I'm Pamela Church, and I just wanted to go over three things with you today. I'm making this quick video because I thought it would be kind of fun to do. And the three things I want to address are things that people are really talking about right now and what you're hearing in the media. First thing I'm going to talk about is the Fed rate hikes. Second thing I'm going to talk about is the housing crash that you're hearing about. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is the inventory environment. So first of all, as far as the Fed goes, they have been hiking the Fed fund rate 0.75% this year already. And there are 4 meetings remaining, and they are predicting they're going to raise it at 1.75% more to the remaining of the year. And what we have to remember is that the Fed fund rate is the borrowing rate, overnight borrowing rate of the banks. So it is not the mortgage rate. So the mortgage rate, what affects that and what drives the mortgage rate is inflation. And the Fed is hiking Fed fund rates to bring the inflation down, to curb it. And if they are successful in cooling the inflation rate, then we will see mortgage rates drop. And I found this out from my lenders that I work with, and what they base their information on is over the past 50 years, it's history. Whenever inflation goes up, mortgage rates go down. Okay, number 2 thing I want to talk about is the media. I mean, they're really getting it in our heads that there's going to be a housing crash. And you're probably hearing it yourself or through friends, and they're all talking about it. But are we really? So the number one thing we need to look at, and number one law of economics, is supply and demand. So looking at demand, when we look at demand in the housing market, we look at home formations. And home formations is when someone moves out of a home, they don't need to resell, they're not going to relinquish a home to buy a new one. For instance, say you have a child at home, well, probably not a child now, who's moving out of your home and they are buying their first home, but the parents keep their home. So that's one example of a home formation. And right now we have 1.4 million home formations. As far as supply goes, our supply is determined by new home construction, models that are ready to sell, and right now there's only 1.2 million new construction homes ready to sell. So if you look at those numbers, that tells you that your demand is way higher than your supply. And this is not an easy thing to catch up with. So that's why there's not going to be a housing crash. There's no signs of it. Okay, and the next thing I want to talk about is how this inventory. Okay, because another thing you're hearing is inventory has increased, and it has. It's increased 22% since last February, when it was the lowest ever. And with that increase, the media is saying, oh, there's too many houses on the market, so hence the crash. Well, remember, we're going back to supply and demand, and that's just not the case. There's still more demand. And so what you're seeing with the inventory and why it's coming on right now is we hit those spring and summer months. And the reason a lot of people sell in the spring and summer is to align with the school year, because they want their children, if they're going to move, to be in a school and be able to make those form those new friendships early on in the year. And then also remember, those people that are moving have a home to sell, and they want to be able to close before September. So that's historical. We see a rise in inventory during the spring and summer months. But we are coming from a record low. We have half the inventory that we had pre-COVID. So as far as inventory goes, we still don't have quite enough, which makes, there's more of it, which makes buying easier, but there's still a larger demand. And let's see, I'm just going to look at my notes to see if there was anything else I was going to say about that. Basically, this means that the true available inventory is not what you're seeing the media say in the headlines. It's nothing to do with the housing crash. And if you're curious about your home's value right now, especially during a shifting market, I'm sure you're hearing that the market is shifting, you know, you're hearing some things in the media. It's great. I'd love to be a resource to you. And it's really great to stay informed. Knowledge is power. So please feel free to contact us. And we do a very detailed statistical approach, which doesn't just include 3 comps from what's sold in the past. You know, it's sometimes, especially in the market that I'm in, the homes that I sell, they're very unique properties. And pretty much everybody's home's unique, but the horse properties are definitely unique. And so we've gotten very good at figuring out the home prices on these based on appreciation, homes that are active on the market, and also comparables. So it takes quite a bit of research to figure that out, but that is just a way I like to provide you a service. And hope that you remember me whenever you have questions about real estate, and if you ever decide to move or think about moving, that you'll reach out to me. So anyway, this is my newsletter for this week, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And again, this is Pamela Church with eXp Realty. Take care.